welcome to the Comedy Podcast, where I delve into the world of Reddit and other unusual stories. It's a crazy little thing called Lovdev. Today's episode is 160. Corpse on board. Finally, feels like spring is here. Yes, I think spring has arrived early in England. Officially, it's supposed to be, obviously, on the 21st of March is spring. But this week, it has been absolutely gorgeous. Oh, it's been so nice, hasn't it? I mean, we can actually open our windows now and not feel cold. Flowers are starting to bloom. You know what I've noticed? You know, in my back garden, I've got one of those palm tree plants. I forgot the actual name of it now. But I bought it from, I can't remember where. I think I bought it from a garden centre or something. And when we first had it, right, it kind of lost all the leaves during the winter time. And it was just the stump. And my missus was like, no wonder that was so cheap. It doesn't even last that long. And I was like, oh, that's a shame. And then it bloomed back in the summer. Like, it proper grew back like how it was. It actually grew better. And I was like, oh, wow, this tree's come back. He's strong, man. He's like me. He has a downer, but he gets back up. Do you know what I've noticed from last year to this year? I've had it for 3 years now, this plant. This year, I didn't lose any of the leaves. It kept its bloom, right? So it kept the green leaves during the winter time that we've had in the UK. So autumn, winter, it still managed to stay alive and bloom. And I was like, wow, has this plant actually build a stamina? I don't even know if that's the right word, because I'm not a florist. I don't know about plants. I just bought it because I liked it and it reminds me of holidays. Is it just build a strong immune system? I know that sounds strange. Or is it because we've had a milder winter than usual? And I said to my friend the other day, someone come round my house and I said, that's my plant, that is. And he said, oh, that's nice, that. I said, I know. I said, look at this. I said, it's still the leaves are still there, man. I said, usually they drop, so they fall in the winter. And then they grow back up. I said, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it is the weather. Strange but true. I'll tell you something really strange. My dad come the... Oh, no, hang on. Before I tell about me dad. I know that he's not strange, but he can be sometimes. My foot's been playing up again. So I'm actually recording this podcast. I want to do it as quick as possible. My foot's playing up. And I've got an ice pack on it. So I'm sitting on my chair, on my computer chair. I've got the ice pack on the floor and my left foot is hurting again. So I've kind of just stepping on it. And I can feel it now. Like, it's going to, in any minute, it's going to freeze. I'm going to forget about it. And then my foot might just drop off. I don't know. But yeah, I'll tell you about my dad in a minute. But let's do a quick, what you may call it. Let's do a topic. I'm going to do, am I the a-hole? This one has been put up by Much Bed. It's quite a long post. But I just read the title and I thought, yeah, I'll do that one. It's got a lot of likes. Let's see what it's all about. So, Much Bed is asking, am I that a-hole for ignoring my wife for throwing away my late wife videotapes? I am writing this because I don't know what to do. I have a daughter with my late wife and her name is Eleanor. Her birthday is coming up in 2 weeks and she's turning 18. Background, me and my late wife, Chloe, have been dating since college. We got older and ended up getting married, and after our wedding she shared some news to me that she was pregnant and I was excited that we was expecting our first child. Since it was our first child, we bought a video camera and made little tapes and snippets of her whole pregnancy. Wholesome things such as just joking around or having lunch or talking to our unborn child through the camera. We made a promise to only show Eleanor the tapes until her 18th birthday. Fast forward 2 years after her birth, Chloe passed away. Tragic. Due to a drunk driver crashing into her car as she was coming home from her mum's house. Oh, man. That's awful, man, dude. Wow. I was devastated of her passing and went into a deep depression. I'm sure you did, mate. You know, that's your missus. She was carrying your child and... Oh, God, this is awful, man. And having to raise our 2-year-old daughter by myself, my friends tried to get me to go out again. And I started back dating. But every time I did, I felt like I was betraying her. Yeah, I'm sure you would, innit? I mean, I wouldn't want to be in that situation. That's an awful situation to be in. Being with your partner, having a child, and then your kid's born and your partner's gone. Man, I know a lot of people that have been through that. And if it was me, I don't know how I would cope. I'll be honest, man. I know this is supposed to be a comedy podcast, but that's the thing, man. You just don't know what's around the corner, do you, these days? That's why you have to enjoy life, my friends. Take each day as it comes. Try your best. And if you don't, you just say, oh, well, at least I tried. And be good. If you be good to people, it will always come back. I believe in that. Anyway, let's carry on with Muchbed's story. So years later, when Eleanor was 13, I met Wendy. We met at a gathering for my sister's birthday, and we instantly hit off. She didn't mind that I had a daughter because she also had 2 kids herself and just went through a divorce. 2 years after we got married, now back to the present. Eleanor's 18th birthday is coming up, and I kept all the tapes for me to show her. Mind you, her mother died when she was just 2 years old, so Eleanor doesn't remember her touch or her voice. I was excited to show her the tapes, and a week ago, I was talking to Wendy about it, and I noticed her expression going from happy to looking a little bit uncomfortable. Wendy would always get uncomfortable when I talk about my late wife. I don't say things like, why can't you be like Chloe? Or Chloe was only supposed to be my first love. But I talk about her in a way to give my daughter a mental picture of how her mother was like. Wendy has always talked to me about Chloe and how it made her sad that she can never be like her. Chloe was a model then and started working on her fashion career. And don't get me wrong, she was a really beautiful woman. While Wendy had 2 kids in college and not in the best shape due to her words, I love both women, how they were. I've never had a preference, but I feel like Wendy is gaining some jealousy towards Chloe. I told Wendy that I loved her just the way she was, and she broke down crying. Oh, mate, this is, oh, God. I mean, it's a long story, folks. We're nearly at the end of it, but the thing is, like, I think your partner should understand that you was married before, you know. Fortunately, Eleanor lost her mum, and you guys made a video, and I think that video should be shared because at least Chloe can see what her mum was like, and you know, I show videos of my baby, my daughter. She's 16 now, but I show her videos of when she was young, and she said once, she said, "Oh, I'd love to hang out with her." She's talking about herself because she loves kids, and I think she was like, "Oh, I was the right character when I was small." I said, "You was." So let's crack on with Muchbed. The next day after the incident, she came up to me and apologised for the way she acted last night. I told her it was okay. It's good that she felt uncomfortable to share her feelings. I gave her a tight hug and a kiss on her forehead. She asked me to see where the tapes were, and I showed her. the box of videotapes of my late wife in my closet. Things were going fine until yesterday. I was looking for the tapes because I wanted to put them in a prettier box for my daughter, and when I went to go and find them, the box was in my closet. I looked everywhere to the point I walked downstairs to see my wife laying on the couch watching TV. I asked her about the box and she told me she threw it away with the neutral expression. Wow. That's jealousy, that is. To me, that is jealousy and control. It's awful, isn't it? Like, oh my God. My heart dropped. Mate, my heart's dropped right now reading this. And I asked her what she meant, and she told me that I talked about her too much and that I needed to move on with my life, so she threw them away as a head start. I was fuming with anger because not only she threw away what I had left of her, she threw away my daughter's big surprise. We quickly got into an argument and she noticed how angry I was, so she started apologising. It got to the point I started crying and locked myself in our bedroom. It's the morning and I'm writing this in my office, going through my computer, finding old files or any tapes of video of my late wife to give it to my daughter, because sometimes my daughter still cries that she never got to meet her. Her mother and I really thought it would bring her close to her. I've been ignoring my wife for the past day and she's been texting me non-stop about how sorry she is, but I really just can't look at her right now. It's getting to the point our mutual friends are texting me to accept her apology and get over it, since Chloe died over 10 years ago. But I'm trying to ignore them all because they have never had someone close to them that has died. Absolutely, mate. I am working on finding these files and I'm starting to think I was overreacting. I don't know what to do and I really need help. Oh, mate. That is so sad, isn't it? Reading that, I'm not going to lie, I had to pause the recording. Nothing ever really. Like, I'm a big softie, really. Do you know what I mean? And reading that, I was like, wow, that's just proper feel for him, man. Like, you could probably tell in my voice. I don't want to cry because this is a podcast, but yeah, man, that's proper sad. That is, you know. Like, I don't understand why she couldn't just speak to him about it and say, look, I've moved them away, but we need to talk about this, because at one point I actually felt like throwing them away. Man, that is sad. I don't even know what to say about that, but if that was me, I would be fuming, and I bet he is. Imagine you've holding on to something for 18 years. Or, my maths is crap, 16 years, because, yeah, Eleanor was 2 when Chloe died. Oh my God, tragic. Wow. What do you do? You've recorded something, you're going to show your kid when they're 18, you've both agreed on it, you know. Something unpredictable like that happens, and you've still held on to the memories, and I think generally it would have been a lovely surprise for the young girl, Eleanor. She would have been like I would be in shock if that was me, and one of my parents said, "Here, I don't know, here's a video of your dad or mom, whoever it is, and this is your dad playing with you when you were small." I'd be like, "What?" Like, it would really hit me, and I'd really feel it. And then I'll probably watch it loads of times, you know. But to throw something away like that is awful. I don't have any sympathy for the other woman at all. I don't even know what her name was. What was the other woman's name? Oh my God, what do you do in a situation like that? It's terrible. I mean, he's not in the wrong, first of all. If his friends are texting him, telling him to forget about it, you can't. You're not been in that situation. You can't do that. Oh my days. What a story that is, man. What a story. You see, things like that go on in the world, don't they? And we all think we have problems, but people have bigger problems out there, don't they? Oh my God. I need to move on to another story because I'm going to be welling up in a minute. So my dad came over the other day. Well, he came yesterday, I say the other day. He came yesterday quite late. He got here like 9 o'clock in the night. And he said, I need you to look at my dash cam. He said someone hit my car. It was a cyclist that hit his car and he wanted the video just in case the cyclist, says he done it. My dad said that he just pulled out of this road and my dad hit him. He wasn't basically looking. I bet he had no lights either. I see a lot of cyclists on the road who can't be bothered to put any lights on. So I was watching my dad driving. I was doing that for a full hour. Watching my dad driving for like a minute. I was like, Dad, why are all your videos like a minute long? I said, doesn't this record up the whole journey? And he said, I don't know what's wrong with it. I had to sort that out for him. My kids were like, what are you doing, man? I said, I'm watching your granddad driving. They thought it was hilarious. The worst thing was we couldn't even find that video because he hasn't set the time and date properly on his dash cam. So I had to go through the whole video one by one. There must have been about 100 videos. It took me ages and we never found it. And I said, I think it's been overwritten. You need a bigger memory card, Dad. That's what you need. So that was a fun I had last night. Didn't do any gigs because obviously I had to have an haircut. I was due an haircut. Now my barber's telling me off saying that I'm cutting my beard too low. I'm like, what do you mean? He says, it's too low, man. Your beard should be higher up on the face. I thought, flicking heck. I thought, what's the point of having an haircut? So now I've got to outgrow my beard and keep a stubble. And people are going to think, why is this guy not shaving his beard? And it's difficult, especially when you're performing, because you got to look good, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, let's do another topic. This one is a new one. It's called Embarrassing Moments. People, where they've had an embarrassing moment in their life. Let's see what the first one is. I think I've done it before, but I can't remember. This one has been posted by Most Imagination, and they are saying they've embarrassed themselves in front of class because they didn't know how to use a hole puncher. How do you not know how to use a hole puncher? That's hilarious. Let's see what Most Imagination is saying. In my class, we were punching holes for our packets, but the automatic hole puncher got stuck, so we only had the swing line desktop version with 3 holes. The moment it was my turn to punch my packet, it felt like I couldn't get my packet on the right spot, and the damn thing, I literally spent a good minute trying to get the puncher to work, but nothing was going through. I asked my teacher for help, but instead she blurted my name to say, can anyone help so-and-so to learn how to use the hole puncher? My heart literally sank. 3 minutes later, and one of my classmates was demonstrating the process, and I was able to get one of my pockets punched in with her help. But when I tried to punch the remaining 2 by myself, I couldn't do it on my own. The worst thing was that I felt so stupid the whole time. Plus, what I'm on the verge of tears. Well, hopefully I can forget about this since this was my last year in school. Oh, God. What a hilarious. I mean, they're obviously young, aren't they? This person. When you get older, you're going to have a lot more problems and a lot more embarrassments. Maybe it's the first time you've used one of those things. That's what it is, and you just didn't know. How to use a hole puncher. That's brilliant. Some kids don't even know how to iron. That's one thing I'm going to get my daughter to do is start ironing and folding her clothes properly. My kids are so lazy. I get my son to try and fold his clothes, and he just rolls it up into a ball. And I'm like, what are you doing, mate? I'll tell you what I'll be doing tonight. Wait, there's a segue. I'm going to be doing a gig tonight in Howden, which I believe it's in near Gull. It comes under the Gull district of the United Kingdom. Gull's a weird name, isn't it? Reminds me of Ghoulies, like Ghoulies from the movie. They used to live in the toilets, didn't they? Ghoulies, I think. I might be wrong. If anyone's seen that movie. So I'll be there, hopefully, performing on a stage, not out of a toilet. Looking forward to that one. That's for a promoter named Barnstormers Comedy Club. Yee, that should be fantastic. Right, I want to do another topic because I really don't know what to talk about, to be honest. And guess what, folks? Actually, I won't tell you now. I'll tell you once I've done this. Let's do...
Ask the UK.
Ask the UK. Right, this one has been put up by Cuppa Chuppa. The question he is asking is, why do you have a baby on board sign in your car? Well, probably because they've got a baby on board. There's a baby in the car, mate. That's what the sign means. I used to have a sign. My auntie gave it to me. I think I mentioned this. Probably on one of my very first episodes. I had a hunk on board. She gave it to me on my birthday. And I actually left it in the car. Hunk on board. I don't know whatever happened to that sign. I don't know if I lost it or I thought, nah, I need to remove this. That's when signs were popular in cars, you know. I saw a sign the other day, right? It was on the back of this van. It said, no tools are kept in the back of this van. I thought, them are cowboy builders. Whee! That's not even funny, is it? Let's see what Cuppa Chuppa is talking about. He's saying, they were just talking about it on the radio. The presenter said, it can't be for emergency services in the case of a crash because people don't always have a baby in the car. So it would be irresponsible to have the emergency workers searching for a baby that was never there. In brackets, and I suspect emergency workers completely ignore them anyway. They can't be to stop people driving too close because the situation is that if you don't have one, it's okay to tailgate. And I suspect that people who are selfish enough to tailgate wouldn't care that you had a baby on board. So you've put one in your car. Why? So if I put a baby on board, probably because there's a baby in my car, mate. What purpose are you expecting it to serve, he's asking. Okay, so if I've put one in my car, well, I suppose it's more or less what you said, isn't it? You don't want people tailgating. You want people to... maybe it's more of an awareness thing than anything else. So you just, like, hinting, be careful on your driving. I've got a baby in the car. Or maybe they're just proud parents who've got kids and... yeah. That's probably what it is, isn't it? Yeah, probably. That was today's
Ask the UK.
So now I'm going to go and do a weird news. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to do just the one. You guys are getting 2 weird news stories. I know. That's mad, isn't it? So let's start with this one, which I find very interesting. It's not very long, which is why I'm doing 2. So the first weird news is... married couple forced to sit next to a woman's body after she drops dead on a 15-hour flight. Oh my days, what? A husband and wife say they were forced to sit next to a woman's body for several hours after she dropped dead on a 15-hour flight. Mitchell Ring and Jennifer Collins, shout out to Mitchell and Jennifer, were en route from Melbourne, Australia to Doha in Qatar when the unidentified female passenger suffered a medical emergency in the aisle during the long-haul Qatar Airways flight. Unfortunately, the lady couldn't be saved, which was pretty heartbreaking to watch. Ring told the TV show on Tuesday they tried to wheel her up towards business class, but she was quite a large lady and they couldn't get her through the aisle. Oh my days. This is why. They couldn't get her out the seat. She can't even go up the aisle. Maybe that's why she died, because she was overweight. The Australian couple, who had 2 spare seats in their row of 4, said the frustrated flight crew then asked them to move over so they could prop the corpse next to them. Oh my, why didn't they move them too as well? Imagine being on an aeroplane. Tragically, someone's passed away. I bet it happens a lot on an aeroplane, or I don't know. Wouldn't they just go like, yeah, you guys move, we need to put a dead body here? How would you feel on that flight? Like, that's proper bizarre, isn't it? I don't know how I would feel being on that aeroplane knowing that there's a dead lady behind me. Or next to me. That's even worse. They said, can you move over, please? And I just said, yeah, no problem. He said then they placed the lady in the chair I was in. A shocking photo of the grim ordeal captured Ring watching his telly as the woman's body sat next to him. Ring claims he spent 4 hours sitting next... Ring is the surname, by the way. Ring claims he spent 4 hours sitting next to the woman's blanket-covered body. When they finally landed, the couple who were flying to Italy said the airline crew told them to remain in their seats while the first responder came to retrieve the body. I can't believe they told us to stay. It wasn't nice. This is what Ring is saying. Qatar Airways said they were in the process of reaching out to the couple in the wake of the ordeal. First and foremost, our thoughts are with the family of the passenger who sadly passed away on board on our flight. A Qatar Airways spokesman said in a statement, "We apologise for any inconvenience or distress this incident may have caused and are in the process of contacting passengers in line with our policies and procedures." That is madness, mate. A dead body on an aeroplane. Oh my God. Do you know what the weird thing is? We've been talking about death. Now this is to do with birth. Yeah, life after death. Or is it death, then life? Here's a second weird news story. Why bother with a party? Mum lashes out birthday without even a cake. Eh? Why bother with a party and mum lashes out at a birthday party when there's no cake, basically? That's what she's saying. There's a cost of living crisis, but apparently that shouldn't stop parents from saving money when trying to give their kids joy. According to one mum, anyway. Posting under a username, I think it's TikTok, but I'm not going to read it out. The mum of 2 this week went on a viral rant about her child attending a birthday party without a cake. I tried to act normal, but what was that? The mum wrote over a footage at a skating rink. Recently attended a kid's birthday party. Turns out everyone had to pay for their own entry ticket. Really? No food, no drinks, not even a cake. Wow, what kind of party is this? The kids played, then left. Everyone still brought gifts. I tried to act normal, but honestly, what was that? A short clip with a very pointed message. It was captioned, "People are weird. Why not just invite to the park? Or why not to add no gifts, please, if you're literally not going to do anything?" The post attracted more than 4,000 comments and has been viewed more than 1.5 million times. I do believe it's on TikTok. The top comment read, "This is almost as bad as Build-A-Bear birthday scandal. In reference to the recent story that you can read here." Shall we read it here? There's a link. Let's have a read of it. Looks like you're getting 3 weird news stories. Oh my god. Let's have a look. What's all... Oh no, I've got all these pop-ups. We can't do that then. We're going to have to leave that one. But many viewers of the clip were not happy with the mom's judgment. Maybe a mom with no money trying to give her kid a good birthday party. Maybe you people with money should have a compassion, one person has put down. To the creator replied, "You don't get anything you cannot afford." Another suggested, "Consider for a moment that the poor children also deserve parties, even if they don't quite meet adult expectations." And this mom made a valid point. "I don't understand the alternative. One mom pays for 30 kids, or what are you saying here?" Why are people defending this? This is the title. There are also many viewers who agreed. Why are people defending this? The parents didn't put money or effort into organising a party. It's so clearly a cash grab and it's not funny. You could have made a box of mixed cupcakes for $1. Water is free. Come on. The bar is beneath the floor, one person wrote. And this person suggested a more tactful approach could have been taken. I get that some people can't afford a party. They're expensive. But you have to set clear expectations on your invite. That's exactly what I was thinking. Join us for a birthday play day. Each kid is responsible for admission. Gifts are not required. The pollster came back into the comments to reply, "I was okay to pay for entrance, but no food or water was upsetting. This is not expensive at all. Any water, juice, cupcake, blowing a candle would completely change the atmosphere." And yes, you are right. Oh, it's been a split decision on that story. And I don't know what happened to the Build-A-Bear one, because that didn't even load up. But yeah, looks like you just got the 2 then. Maybe we can do Build-A-Bear next week. Who knows? Anyway, folks, I've got a lot to do today. I've got to sort my foot out. I'll see you next week. Hope you enjoyed the podcast that started quite sad, but hopefully it was better than it was later on. Stay safe. Be happy. Enjoy life.